see if they pop up again here in Game 2. MVP Blue versus LGIM number 2.
Well, PLL came up pretty big on Elise that last game, and Oriana going down for Kuro. He still has his other favorite champion, Gragas, on the loose.
There's the TF ban, but it doesn't matter now because the streak is broken, guys. Doesn't matter anymore. Now it's just a regular TF ban.
What am I going to complain about to Riot now?
I know. Well, they did over nerf Rumble's harpoon. There we go.
Yes,
that's something. We can do that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No more Rumble in Korea now.
Jace is still at 100% pick ban.
That's right. Okay, Jace. Yes. But keep in mind, this is pre-tier nerf patch as well.
And pre-Jace nerf patch.
Exactly. So when that happens, it's going to change a bit.
And they're taking the Jarvan out this time.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about how LGIM number 2 played that last game. They did a very good job of identifying MVP Blue's weakness in champ select and then playing through that weakness the entire game. Impressive for a new team.
And this time the Elise being picked up by MVP Blue using that first pick, as is often done for Elise.
Well, PLL got some great flash cocoons in the last game, chased down runners, especially Easy Hoon's Rise.
Yeah, he had a little
set up a lot of picks as well.
He had a little bit of trouble early on in that 1v2, but he really came back big after that.
Yes, he did.
And it's going to be possibly a Shen, and who else? Who do you think? Think they're going to go ahead and grab Thresh?
They could go Evelyn.
Or Vayne. I mean, Deft on Vayne is very dangerous, so they may be partially wanting to take that away from him too.
Yeah, they probably don't want to pick Evelyn this early. I think it'd be showing their hand a bit too much, but I do wonder if they're going to pick it up later on down the line.
Ooh, actually, Nunu getting picked up for that jungle spot. Now, Evelyn can, of course, still be played mid or something like that, but pretty unlikely that we're going to see her now.
Yes, pretty unlikely. And I do like that Nunu pickup. MVP Blue has been putting a really, really high priority on that selection, as we've been talking about recently. So getting that band, or getting that away from MVP Blue, quite important.
MVP Ozone, man, they're just like sunk back in their chairs right now. They look pre-defeated. That's not good.
Well, they really would have benefited from a 2-0 here today.
Yeah.
And if LGIM gets a 2-0, they will actually be ahead of both Shield and MVP Blue in the standings.
Yeah, with a 2-0 in this match today, the group is still wide open.
Yes, it would be quite dangerous for the group if LGIM number 2 were to pick up 2 wins here.
You know, and I mean, the funny thing is it would follow the Champions tradition of teams that do relatively well in the end, doing relatively poor in the beginning. I mean, think of Sword and Ozone.
Now, that's true. LGIM could run a double AD comp with Shen right here that would be pretty effective, actually, because you can split and then siege super hard with Blood Boil double AD carries. So it wouldn't surprise me, especially since Deft hasn't selected a champion yet, and he is a very good Ezreal player. For them to pick up Ezreal
Caitlyn, you think, or Ezreal Kog'Maw,
probably
or something like
mid, because you don't want to reveal your hand, and you've already seen the Rise come down. Now, Chunju plays that top lane Rise, but we could see Ezreal.
No way. LeBlanc? Okay, they're gonna lock in the Nami. There we go, yep.
So they're keeping it open for a mid lane AD carry here. This is very smart. Now, we saw Vulcan run that just today, actually, the Kog'Maw, Nunu, Ezreal, and it's pretty devastating.
Yeah. Maybe Graves here for Deft. Pretty aggressive set of champions. They're gonna have a lot of close range damage if they do go with that Graves, but
this is actually really dangerous, because if that is an Ezreal mid as the last pick,
Graves is never gonna get in.
The siege is going to be huge, and MVP Blue might just be falling into the same trap again. There we go. That's a little better.
Yep. Twitch a bit safer. And the final pick will be
Zach. Come on, no!
Kennen. Okay. So again, I mean, just like last time, no primary engage.
They have Elise this time, so it's a little better, because she can repel or get that cocoon.
Yeah.
It is an improvement. And they still have Thresh as well.
How much of one? Give me a percentage.
50% better.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad. And, well, will it be Lux? It will be. They're going to lock it in. Well, it does give him some more poke, I guess.
This does fit in LGIM's wheelhouse, because Kuro really likes those long-range mages.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think that he could play Ezreal, considering that's the kind of champion he enjoys playing and seems to be skilled with. But they are going to pick Lux. May be a bit risky, but it does have a lot of peel. The advantage to Lux here is that you have a lot of peel and stopping power to deal with Kennen coming in.
Interesting.
That's going to be very important. Landing the light binding on a Kennen moving in for the slicing maelstrom could be a pretty big factor in these fights. And they have taunt as well to stop it. And they have snowball. They've got the disengage from Nami. I really like LGIM's comp again. They're going to be able to 4-1 split push and blood boil the Kog'Maw for huge turret damage.
Well, we're checking out the roster now. In the mid lane, Kuro on Lux, Easy Hoon on Rise. You know, Lux kind of looks a little bit like she's going down a roller coaster too, but more like if it was going past rather than down. At AD carry, we have Deft playing Twitch, Scarlet playing Kog'Maw this time around. And finally, at support, viewing on Nami, Flom on Thresh. The game is loading, guys. Can LGIM take the 2-0, or will MVP Blue come back and tie it up? Let's get in the game and find out. Time, Group C, Set 2, MVP Blue versus LGIM number 2 on OGN Champions Summer. MVP Blue fighting for that 1-1, but LGIM coming in big for an invade. Kog'Maw using his big face to check that brush. Oh, Spider finds him though.
Gotta use that taunt as Kog'Maw. Okay.
That's right.
Well, MVP Blue, now they are going to be able to engage better with Elise. They've got another skill shot that they can use to follow up on. So they do have the Death Sentence and the Cocoon now and the Repel to get in. But MVP Blue going to be facing a lot of the problems that they had last time with the disengage from Nami, as well as the great peel provided by Lux, Nunu, and Shen. And I have a feeling that if LGIM number 2 plays this game as well as they did at the first game in terms of controlling team fights from range, that MVP Blue is going to go down again.
We'll see. Right now, Kog'Maw being very distracting. Oh, wow. There's those forward wards going down. Both teams just vision over that blue. All right.
A lot of wards for MVP Blue. They're very concerned with what's going on right here.
All right, looks like they might just trade blue buffs here.
Scarlet having a very good time right now.
Yeah. Someday someone's gonna get fed up with Kog'Maw and he's gonna get kicked over a wall, but until then, he's gonna be okay.
All right, so this should be pretty easy for Kuro to farm up with for a while, and we are going to get the 2-1. That's going to favor LGIM just a little bit here. I have a feeling that our Bioarcane Barrage, especially if Nunu comes top quickly to Blood Boil Kog'Maw, we'll see how fast this top lane of LGIM2 wants to, if they want to freeze the lane and get a big minion wave and then push while waiting for Nunu, or whether they're just going to decide to shove immediately, because that's a little bit more of what we're seeing in this bot lane from MVP Blue.
And I really enjoy this Nunu jungle right now. I feel like it's added a nice new little dimension to the play we've seen in Champions, and it's cool. You know, it's cool to see how much things change every season.
I really like it because you can do a lot of fun compositions around him.
Yeah.
So it opened up a lot of possibilities with fast push, with double AD that are pretty cool.
Yep. And actually, we may have a little bit of a gank here. We'll see if Chunyong gets an opportunity.
I think
hiding right on the edge of that push.
Very used to playing these long-range mages with minimal escapes, and he is very good.
Yep. Oh, here comes Chunyong.
Get ganked early.
Yeah, just making his presence known. And there's a light binding. Look at the damage put on him already. Wow.
Beautiful play by Kuro, getting behind the minion line perfectly right there. He's going to not get hit by any of those skill shots coming out of Chunyang.
Now, Kuro definitely knows what he's doing with these mages.
Yes, he does.
No doubt about it.
Yes, he does. He's got his specialty. He's sticking to it.
Yep.
PLL doing what he can, farming behind the turret right now. Lilac actually coming into bot lane to help clear this out.
Well, they pull up PLL. Some damage going to be able to be put on them. The Flay getting Lilac very close to Deft. Deft popping that invisibility for a moment to stay incognito. PLL taking a lot of damage. But we saw him take a lot of damage early on last game, too.
Yes, it does seem to. He's got the Doran's shield at least. He'll have that extra little bit of regen. Oh,
yeah.
Easy messing up his CF'ing right there a little bit.
Does not happen very often.
It doesn't. He is a pretty darn reliable mid laner.
Yeah. Oh, go.
And Kuro still laying down the harass right here. It is a dangerous situation for Kuro. Of course, only having that flash, relying on skill shots in order to provide CC. Pretty risky as a Lux player. And when you have that cocoon coming out of the jungle and the targeted rune prison, one false move can mean your death in this situation. And that's why we don't see a lot of Lux these days. It's just not always worth the risk.
She's not very forgiving.
No, she's not. She has one of the lowest base HPs in the game as well.
Yeah. Lilac having to spend a lot of time in that bot lane, just trying to keep that turret alive. And so far, Scarlet and Buing haven't really pushed that top lane forward too much.
No, I really wonder, they may be just waiting here. They got a big lane freeze right now. So, Chunju getting a lot of experience though. They're not doing a particularly active job of zoning out Chunju's Kennen.
Well, they see Chunyang coming up through the jungle on Elise, so they wanted to be a bit careful about that as well. And Kuro, here we go. Well, can't dodge the Q. Gonna shield himself and flash out. Okay, they got the flash.
You can see the mind games there, though. Chunyang kind of faking him out, pretending like he was going to launch that cocoon, and Kuro attempting to dodge it and then deciding, well, it's not worth the risk anymore. I got a flash.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come out immediately. So Chunyang with a cute move, a little bit of a juke, actually manages to bait out a flash.
Oh, PLL is so low, and he knows he needs to get away. Chunyang coming in. Thought maybe he could pick up that kill, but I don't think he's going to catch Shen. Nope, not quite. Can't quite repel to him before he gets to the turret range.
And again, the lane freeze in top lane. They're just trying to zone this Kennen out. I find this to be an interesting decision, but if they want a slower pace game where they can concentrate gold onto this Kog'Maw instead of rapidly striking down turrets, here we go. The dragon attempt is commencing. They do know it's happening, so LGIM #2.
Yeah, they're going to try to punish this. They do have Lux. She is level 6. She's got that ultimate she could try to steal it with. Is she going to do it? There's a light binding. Hits the spider leg. Oh, man! Barely snipes off Chunyang. They're going to pull in Lilac, too. There's a flay on him. Can he get away? Lilac flashing over the wall. Flom very low on health. Chunju coming in to try to support. PLL chasing down Flom. He's going to get that kill. Kuro wrapped up with that rune prison, getting very low on health. Can Chunju chase him down? Lightning rushing in, and they're going to get that kill. Gets fed to EasyHoon. And Def getting jumped on by PLL. They're going to mix it up in the bot lane, but no more kills after that extended fight.
That was a very nice engage by LGIM #2 there. And also a bit of a confusing decision from MVP Blue. EasyHoon had just back to base, and they sent Chunju down to Dragon. I think they were just planning to get a quick Dragon and then rotate to take bottom turret, but it really backfired on them because EasyHoon just wasn't there, and he's the main source of damage. Chunju, he doesn't have any AP items yet. He's relying on those auto attacks, so pretty much he's just there for the CC.
Right.
Deft only had the Doran's Blade.
Let's take a look at that replay.
Yeah, and this is just good zoning as well. Lux with the great snipe. And Lilac, oops, we're gonna see a little bit of action here, but yeah, just that snipe proving absolutely critical. But again, with the items that MVP Blue had at the time, they weren't really going to be able to do a lot without EasyHoon there, so.
And now LGIM gets a pretty comfortable Dragon, at least it could be. We'll see. PLL recalling right now, Buing trying to zone. He almost walked into a bush with Flom there as well, but it doesn't look like MVP Blue is going to be able to do anything about this Dragon. Nope, goes down. And so a nice little 1K gold lead for LGIM.
Yeah, they will be able to turn this into something more probably pretty soon. This has been going very well. The problem is Kuro has fallen pretty far behind in terms of farm, and Lux does need those items to stay relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of her long cooldown, you have to have a lot of AP in order to successfully chunk
Oh, they're
people.
gonna pull in Viewing. Did they catch him? Lightning Rush activated immediately. Viewing trying to fight for his life, but not working out. And Chunhyun going in. They're gonna dive it. The turret's very low. Scarlet taking a stun, taking some damage. There goes the turret. They're just gonna take that back off.
And sometimes when you're behind, you have to make a bold play. A smart decision by MVP Blue to try and create a pick right there just so they could take the tower and then level off that total gold.
Yeah,
so
worked out well.
Good decision making there from MVP Blue.
Well, this game is far from over. And MVP Blue really, really knows how important a win here is for their tournament life, really.
Absolutely. However, Kog'Maw just going to get some more farm, picking up all that delicious empty lane farm.
Oh, yeah. And just some CSing being done for Kuro with that final spark. Just making sure he has time to recall. All right, Viewing and Scarlet now. Yeah, just trying to stay safe, trying to farm a little bit in that bot lane.
And Shen continuing to push. Now he finally has that level 6. He did get delayed a little bit thanks to being zoned out in the 1v2, so it came a bit later than normal. But it's here now, it can be used. And I'm curious as to what the strategy for LGIM2 is going to be. They really want to get some more items on Kog'Maw. They could push now.
Well, PLL taking some hits here. EasyUn coming in, locking him up. PLL can't get away. He's going to try to stand United out of it. Oh, barely. No, he doesn't escape the poison. Ends him, and Def gets that kill. At least he died back with his home team. Oh, well.
Also, a little bit questionable. He did buy that. He, interestingly, bought the chainmail first, and that's because he was in the 1v2 lane.
I could have used that health, though.
He definitely could have used the Giant Spell right there. Would have been a much more effective item, especially since he knew he was going to be rotating later on.
Yeah. When you're going for that Sunfire Cape, you do have to kind of pay attention to which would be better to pick up first at the time.
It could have been a situation, too, where he wanted to get something and he had only enough money for the chain vest, but
true.
Sometimes those decisions sting a bit because now he's going to have to go even longer without getting that Giant Spell, and he'll have to be very wary about that same situation repeating itself up in the top lane.
Well, if only he had like 1,200 gold, because then you just buy Mages, apparently, we found out in Korea.
Right.
Yeah.
Faker says buy Magi's.
Magi's, yep. You know, that's one of the troubles that you play the game for a while before you like talk to anyone else who plays it, so you invent your own pronunciations for items and things like that. That's what happened to me with the Magi's. Nobody told me.
It's like when you read a fantasy book or whatever, and you get an
exactly,
idea of how things are pronounced.
I'm trying to break like a 2-year habit here.
Everybody knows that in League of Legends. I had to break the Shako Shako.
Oh yeah, me too. Yep, sometimes champions aren't pronounced like they're written. Found that one out.
Oh, nice steal.
Oh, wow, yeah. Chunju taking those mini golems for himself with the shurikens.
Wow, so MVP Blue pushing hard right now, and LGIM not able to do a lot about it thanks to the fact that Shen is so weak. Shen can't counter the split push, and a dangerous situation has developed here in top lane. Without Kog'Maw, they need Kog'Maw for the siege.
Well, looks like MVP Blue may be scared away anyway for the moment.
Well, they're trying to delay because they want to get that bottom turret as fast as possible. So by delaying recalls here from MVP Blue, they're hoping they can push that Cog turret.
They're trying. Everybody coming down though, and eventually Scarlet may have to pull back a bit.
He has caught up to Def and Farm, however, and I like the play by MVP Blue. They knew that Shen wouldn't be able to deal with the split push on his own. Now, they didn't get a turret, but they did get some damage on it, and they forced LGIM #2 to react, most importantly.
Yeah, if you're determining who reacts. Oh, man. The spider. Okay, they will find Kuro. No blue buff up just yet. Probably going to be coming momentarily. Scarlet does make it out of that bot lane.
LGIM #2 reacting very well to that. They knew that Scarlet was a bit overextended right there, that the gank train could be coming in.
That's right, and the gank train is rarely late.
It is, but it does get derailed sometimes.
Every once in a while,
rotation. So that's what we saw right there.
It crashes into another gank train coming the other way. That's often what happens.
Truly, it's a tragedy when that happens as well.
That's right.
it gets bloody.
When I hear the term gank train, I think of the Chinese team compositions, just a way to kind of roll around the map with all the CC. Oh, Kuro getting jumped on by Deft. Can he get that kill though? Kuro with the shield, trying to get away. Oh, he's solo help, but Deft. Oh, he makes it on the lantern. Oh, final spark. The barrier keeping him alive though. Tidal wave coming in. Deft very low, and PLL comes in with the Sand United for that kill. Trying to get away now, makes it through. That exhaust. A lot used to get that Twitch, but they did get him.
Well, it was a lot used on both sides.
Yeah.
Many summoner spells blown and ults blown right there in order to pick that one up. And Scarlet's got to be careful. Easy Hoon can 100 to 0 him.
And he's going to try. There's a damage coming in. Kuro there with the shield, though. And Easy Hoon's going to need to be careful. PLO coming in from behind, not hitting the taunt, though. And a huge play from Plum. Lilac on the outside, just zoning with that absolute zero. Chunyong wrapped up Chunju in the middle of 5-4 people, and he does not want to be there. He does manage to get viewing, though, before going down, and Easy Hoon makes it out of that fight.
Chunju
Mid-turret's
still
in
has
trouble here.
No damage.
Yeah.
So that coming in afterwards is Kennen trying to pick off, even though he got a great 4-man ult right there without any kind of AP.
That didn't do anything.
It doesn't do
Deft.
anything.
Look at that, and Elise comes in for the assassination. Icathian surprise. Oh, Deft! Oh, man, just barely not enough.
Clever move there from
Yeah.
Kuro to take advantage of the Icathian surprise, however. PLL,
It was
in the
nearly
meantime, going to take the Dragon. We're still very, very deadlocked.
It's turned into kind of an exciting game, too.
It has indeed, but I think the longer this one goes, the more that peel from LGIM is going to take effect. Some kind of sloppy back and forth fights here in the mid lane.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. Viewing trying to defend that mid lane turret with everything he's got right now, but here comes Easy Hoon. Chunyong helping out as well. Zoning with those spiderlings to clear the minions to keep that lane pushed up. But here comes the rest of LGIM. Can they get this turret in time? It's still at half health.
The thing for MVP Blue is that they can...
Viewing, oh.
They rely on those sloppy fights. The more they get into those skirmishes, those back and forth skirmishes, the better they're going to do. Because LGIM is quite squishy in terms of their damage dealers. So if they can get in their face, the more chaos there is, the better it will be for MVP Blue.
Yep.
They just have better duelists, basically, is what it boils down to. So they can break up LGIM and prevent that tidal wave from catching many of them at one time. That's going to be pretty darn important for them to finish out this game.
Yeah, they're going to try. Lots of wards in the middle of the map here.
Basically, the bloodier this game is, I think the better it will be for Blue.
Yeah.
And 40% CDR, so we will see Final Spark after Final Spark here tonight.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that'll be great for making sure this lane keeps cleared out, making sure he can continue to snipe people. Yeah, Kuro looks really comfortable on this Lux, but they're gonna, like you said, I mean, they're gonna need to worry about those skirmishes that MVP Blue is gonna try to keep creating.
They need to siege. They need to stop farming Kog'Maw and just go for the gold here.
Well, isn't that what he's doing by farming? He's kind of going
The
for the gold right now,
gold.
isn't he? The global gold, okay. There we go. It's important to be specific.
It's true. Yeah, you can see that they are forcing out a lot of wave clear from Ryze's ultimate to counteract the Lux wave clear that's happening right now. They've got the split push going. Sunfire Cape is done. Yes, Scarlet, this is where you want to be. The 4-1 split push is what will win you this game, LGIM number 2.
Yeah, they're going to give it a try. This mid lane's still a big point of contention here. Can they push this lane back safely?
MVP Blue can't engage right now either. They have no flashes up.
Oh, they're going to try Flam with using that death sentence over the wall, but he misses Lilac. Lilac getting caught by the flay now, though. Here comes Final Spark. Flam very, very low. Absolute zero canceled nearly immediately. There comes Chunju wrapping up some people in the back lines. PLL trying to get away now. After coming in, they're going to jump onto Chunju. PLL going to help Kog'Maw get that kill, and Easy Hoon just takes too much damage. He can't be in the fight, and LGIM making it out. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade. That was a skirmish, but just not getting enough out of it. They may get this mid lane turret, never mind.
Yeah, MVP Blue got a good twitch hold over the back, fortunately for them, even though LGIM did a lot of zoning work. If Scarlet hadn't positioned himself poorly at that end of that fight and lost the trade with Deft, I have a feeling we would have seen that mid lane turret go down for MVP Blue instead.
Yeah.
It was really the end of that fight that dictated who was going to get an objective afterwards, and Deft played it a little bit better than Scarlet did. He went in a little bit too heavy when they could have just sieged instead of continuing that fight. LGIM number 2, they have to keep it in their heads that ultimately they don't want, their first objective has to be taking those turrets with the range and not trying to clean up any team fights. You don't want to chase. If you still have Lux and you still have Kog'Maw up, just go ahead and siege. We'll take a look at that team fight again, I'm sure, here in a second.
Yeah. But I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, they've got all that long range. And oh, they catch Lilac actually with the death sentence, and he is not going to make it out of there. Oh man, not even having a chance to really react. And that's, you know, I feel like we've been seeing that happen. We've been seeing Lilac get a bit caught by those death sentences more than once this game.
He was lucky not to get caught by that other one over the wall.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about.
That was player error from Flom. He could have started that fight much earlier.
Yeah.
But screwed up his death sentence on a pretty easy hit, actually.
Lilac needing to be a bit more careful. The Aegis coming out way earlier for MVP Blue too. Lilac trying to build his, but he's got a ways to go.
He really needs it too.
Yeah.
They have to get those objectives. And LGIM2, part of the advantage of having a Nunu and a Kog'Maw early is you have that fast push, you've got that blood boil. You can take the turrets very quickly early on. And they're just not doing it this game.
Yep.
PLL also building.
Oh, Buing gets trapped against the wall there. The Cocoon comes over as well. A little bit of damage done. But a scary moment though.
PLL also is building pure armor against this high, now that we see Kennen with the needlessly large rod.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising, isn't it?
Going to be tough to duel that Kennen with that build. I'm surprised he didn't get a little MR after going for the Sunfire Cape, considering that they do have a double AP composition.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like you might be going for like Randuin's or something, but is that really going to be terribly helpful in this case?
I think the logic is they're doing as much as they can to lock up Chunju and EasyHoon so they can't engage. So but if you're going to split push, you have to be able to split push well and effectively, or you can't split push at all. So Kennen can just bully him out of lane due to the lack of MR.
Right, you have to be able to duel if you're going to split push.
But they are getting a split push down right now. MVP Blue motioning for Dragon. Stand United is back up. They've got their ults. They can fight this.
Yeah, we'll see if they do. It looks like they
do Dragon against the poke too.
They may want to.
Very dangerous to do the Dragon against the poke.
Looks like they're going to play it a bit passively though. Letting it go through. PLL continuing that split push.
So they're moving mid again, but they're still not pressuring too hard. They're afraid of not having it. And LGIM happy just to deal the damage to the second top turret with PLL split pushing Shen. They did let him go and accrue a huge minion wave, nearly killing the turret. PLL going back.
Well,
gotta be careful.
coming in now.
Chunju can all in him.
Exactly. Yeah, PLL having to use that taunt to get away immediately. And is he going to be able to recall out of there? I don't know. Let's see. All right, more pressure coming in on the mid lane. Looks like PLL does get out. A very ninja-like move from Shen. He actually was stealthy.
He hit in the brush and recalled.
A little bit, yeah.
So, LGIM needs to work on putting on more even pressure because right now, MVP Blue is getting their way in this game. MVP Blue getting those skirmishes, not folding or succumbing to the pressure of the split push yet. They're doing a good job playing a more measured game. They're not getting over-aggressive in terms of engaging. They're waiting for Flom to land those hooks for the most part. And they're trying to create those picks, so MVP Blue currently in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
With a 3-to-1 turret advantage in spite of a Blood Boil Kog'Maw, which is somewhat baffling, honestly. But
well, it just seems like LGIM has been so passive this game. You know, they just have not really put themselves in the position to really do much sieging.
I feel that they have not optimally use their team comp in the mid game.
Yeah, do you think they're maybe just not quite as practiced with this?
I'm not sure. The nice thing for LGIM is that they are not really going to fall off here. It's not like they have a power spike that's going to go away. They still have that blood boil, they still have that range.
Right.
They still have that poke, so they can always use it, but if you use it to get an advantage earlier, clearly that's going to make your life significantly easier in the long run.
Yeah, but I mean, you do raise a good point where Kog'Maw, Lux, you know, they're going to keep doing more damage over time. Shen is only going to get better as a split pusher, and now he is actually getting that MR.
Oh, he's getting picked.
Yeah, well, he's trying not to be picked, and it looks like he may just barely escape. Oh, I don't know, it's going to be close. He's running right into Chunyang. Here we go. And oh, they missed the death sentence again. Flom, you don't see him miss a lot of those. I'm a little bit surprised.
He's
wow.
been missing a lot today.
Yeah, a little bit off his game. This is not the Flom we remembered. Oh, they might try to come in. There's a lightning rush. They're going to try to use the ultimate, but gets trapped up immediately. There's the ultimate gone. Tidal wave engaging. Viewing getting taken out there. Final spark. Oh, nearly takes on Chunyang. He dodges it with the repel. And Chunju chasing PLL. LGIM trying to kite back as best they can.
That was a really good disengage on the Kennen ultimate.
Right.
But
Chunju.
They didn't follow it up with any kind of damage right there.
Yeah.
They landed with a taunt followed by the Aqua Prison, getting no one.
You know, they just look unsure.
They didn't stand there and actually deliver. You have to stand and deliver with Kog'Maw and Lux. They got the perfect situation.
Yeah, they look a little bit scared. They look scared.
It's weird because last game they did nearly exactly the same thing when taking Kennen out of the fight, but they poked so much better after Kennen was disabled. And in that circumstance...
Do you think they're maybe just tunnel vision? Oh, let's take a look at the replay, all right.
Yeah, now Viewing did get caught out and died, but Absolute Zero, there was no follow-up. It was used far too early, and Chunyang with a great repel. Wow.
Huh. Interesting timing there. Oh, PLL having a bad day. Flashes over the wall, but can he escape? Trying to stand United out of the fight again. Nope, not gonna make it. Easy Hoon says no. And there goes Stand United for a while.
PL Shen is pretty bad.
He's not really impressing too much, no.
He may be 4-3-2, but the amount of times that he's gotten caught already due to inadequate wards in his lane and not a good sense of where MVP Blue is on the map. I mean, they're just walking up there. That's like the third time they've been up there trying to catch him at a pincer.
You know,
and constantly too. LJM is not pushing lanes while this is happening. They're sending the roaming gank squad, but they're not punishing it with objectives.
Baron getting poked a little bit here. MVP Blue disengaging, and I feel like LGIM is suffering from the LGIM curse, which is flashes of brilliance, but overall crippling inconsistency.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the reality of the LGIM teams, it seems.
Yeah.
I don't really get it either, because LGIM is running a composition so similar to the one that they had last game in terms of team fight execution, and they're able to zone out the Chunju. They controlled him without anyone except for Shen, and who cares if Shen gets hit by Slicing Maelstrom, right? So to not turn around, to not actually get the damage down, and for Lilac to ult so early, puzzling.
They just need to be more brave, you know? They just need to make something out of this. And right now, I mean, just not a lot of vision for LGIM. They don't know what's going on in that bottom jungle.
Not a lot of vision for anyone, realistically.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
They are starting to pick up more vision wards, however. So they will be able to potentially regain the vision, but MVP Blue is matching them ward for ward right now.
I was wondering about the static shiv on Kog'Maw, you know? I mean, his spit just becomes electric for a moment, I guess.
Less tingle in your mouth.
I was gonna say, that's a little bit dangerous. He's like, oh, it tastes copper. It's like licking a battery. Well, Dragon died very quickly to MVP Blue. And they're gonna extend that gold lead a little bit. It's not huge at the moment, but it's more about the presence than the gold.
Why is Shen in a lane with Nami and Lux right now? This just doesn't, what they're doing doesn't make any sense.
Monte Cristo's gonna make these guys run laps after the game.
There we go, we're back to the 4-1 split. I keep waiting for it to actually take a tower.
Oh, Shen. Maybe if he kept his swords out the entire time, he'd be more threatening. He just always puts them back in the sheaths right away, you know?
He gets that extra damage when he draws them.
He really works out the lats with that maneuver, though. He's got to have, like, huge lats.
His exercise regimen, really.
Yeah. You can pull them out really fast. But, like, it's dangerous because, like, if you miss when you're sheathing, you're going to stab yourself, like, in the neck, actually. It's a big risk. Speaking of big risks, Jeonyang trying to find a pick here. Can't quite get that cocoon, though. He's going to be content with clearing out all these wards. Except for his own. He likes that ward. He's going to leave it there.
And right now, MVP Blue taking a pretty distinct advantage in terms of vision.
Yeah, they just look stronger right now. I mean, there's a very real sense of momentum when you look at this game. The gold totals are pretty similar. The turrets are very similar. Deft going out of PLL, though. PLL taunting to try to get away, the poison ticking down, and Deft just continuing to chase. He's going to eventually make it out, but only because Deft doesn't want to chase too far.
Yeah, Scarlet with the static shiv as well, he has an opportunity to push pretty hard right now, and it just isn't happening. They're letting Rise farm up, and look at EasyHoon. He is a monster at the moment.
Yeah.
Spirit Visage, Archangels, and Rod of Ages.
He's
if
like
EasyHoon closes, he is going to wipe the floor with LGIM2.
EasyHoon is like a machine built to kill Lux right now. That's actually what he is. He's like a Lux assassin robot. Yeah, if he can get there.
Close, which is difficult. It's very difficult to close on Lux's Rise.
He's like Lux assassin robot Mark 1. They haven't quite thought through everything yet.
He needs to go. He's a prototype.
It's right, yep. Next time he'll have like teleport or something, you know?
He'll have infinite flashes.
Yes.
To close the gap.
Yep. I've heard that happen sometimes.
I don't know, Noah.
Me neither. Well, final spark taking a big chunk out of Flom.
That's the danger of a Lux with this much AP, excuse me, and once she gets that Void Staff too, ooh, it's going to sting.
The magic will penetrate.
Farming out mid. This is going to be a farming game, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's like the LoL version of Harvest Moon, you know? They're trying to, like, find out which villagers like them to kill minions in a certain way, I guess, this time, rather than what vegetables they like.
Oh, the Twitch Rise combo, too. So dangerous.
It's not going to get any weaker, that's for sure.
So bizarre. LGIM2, they set the pace of the last game by using the long-range mages, by using the poke,
yeah, I mean,
and the utility, but they're just not doing it this game, despite an extremely similar composition from MVP Blue.
Really, I mean, again, it's just that inconsistency that we see from LGIM. I mean, it's sadly unsurprising for this club, and I hate to say that because I love LGIM. I've been friends with their coach for a long time, you know, for years, and so I hate to see their team doing this badly, but they just need to get a little bit tighter, you know?
I do. I know all too well, and there we go. The Baron may be coming down soon. Flom going to clean out that ward.
That said, LGIM, you know, they still have a chance. This game isn't over. The momentum could shift, but this may stop that from happening. Viewing getting completely caught. Again, actually, that's the second time that's happened. Ooh, Lilac. Lilac is suddenly behind enemy lines here.
Yeah, they couldn't even do anything about that because they lost control of the vision so early.
Yeah.
He was caught out, but it was a nice Baron bait and pick by MVP Blue. Smart decision making.
Sometimes as a support, you know you need to just get there and try to ward Baron, and sometimes you die for that.
It's
the dangers of warding. That's just what happens.
The dangers of warding, indeed.
Yep. Well, Baron going down. Lilac. What are you doing, Lilac? He does, but he's not going to get close enough. Oh, man, Kuro not quite getting it with that final spark. And Lilac finally going to pay for being so far back. He was like peeking out of the bushes the entire time. He's like, maybe they won't notice me. Well, sorry, man, you're a Yeti. You're kind of distinguishable.
Lilac's positioning has been a huge problem this game.
Yeah.
Not even going to go ahead and take that. They know the home guard boots are coming out. They back off before Easyhoon can duel Shen into the ground. And that'll be the end of the split push. Couldn't quite get that tier 2 inhibitor. And by the way, it took us until 31 minutes to get all of the outer turrets down in this game for both teams.
Yeah. Not exactly Fast and Furious this game, is it?
Nope. But you know what it should have been?
What?
Fast and Furious for LGIM2.
But they didn't want it to be too fast, too furious.
But now it is slow and depressed.
Can they go on like Tokyo drifting through life like this?
They can't.
I don't know. What was your favorite Fast and the Furious movie, Monte Cristo?
I think Tokyo Drift was entertaining.
Me too. I'm glad we're on the same page about that one. It was entertaining.
Flom looking for that pick again.
Oh, and again. It's like Lilac is immune to death
baiting.
sentence this time.
Yeah, he's baiting.
Trying, yeah, but Flom just going to be content with hanging out, killing more wards, and they're going to get Dragon again. I mean, MVP Blue is like, all right, well, I mean, we're slowly choking light. Oh, Kuro gets Dragon this time.
Cute moves from Lux.
Yeah.
Final spark at the last second, totally blind in order to pick up that kill. So a little extra gold. And LGIM2 still not too far behind. Again, with the right team fight, they can regain their lead.
They can. It's definitely not over yet, but they got to be careful. Lilac getting caught again. An easy setup for death sentence. Tidal wave coming just too slow and not able to really do anything about it. Kuro getting wrapped up a bit as well. They do catch Easyhoon. The taunt comes in on him. Easyhoon getting away though. The Lantern. Can the Ignite finish him? A double kill with the final spark. And PLL coming in, they do get the taunt onto Flom. Deft trying to do damage, a triple kill for Kuro. He's going critical mass here, Deft. He gets caught, there's the exhaust, gets cleansed. Chunyang trying to zone, gets the kill finally. Onto Scarlet and Kathy and Surprise coming in, taking a chunk out of Deft, but a triple kill for Deft as well. And LGIM will barely win that fight.
PLL.
MVP Blue rather.
PLL pulled way too far ahead.
Yeah.
And so it was MVP Blue was able to kite them out because Kuro had already gone down in the back lines.
Run, Spider.
Barely making it through that.
Yep.
Lilac
Oh,
now
one
back
snowball.
up and alive.
He's back, and he's angry. He's Lilac. Lilac. Oh, the absolute zero. Getting canceled by Lilac's death. That didn't work out well, did it?
I don't think Lilac should play Nunu anymore.
I was going to say, that looks like something I do when I play Nunu, which is almost never. Like, I played one game, and yeah.
Well, here we go. The Engage, very nice.
Oh, Lilac again.
They do have a better team for Engage this time, as we were talking about earlier. Easyhoon gets way too far in front of his team and easily bursted down from there. That's a huge problem because he's got so much of the gold. Look at that. Beautiful coming in from behind as well.
Yeah.
But over pursued by LGIM right there when they should have been happy just winning that fight while Baron was up.
Yeah.
Because they would have kept both turrets up in that case as well, and now they have an exposed inhibitor, which causes them so many troubles.
Right. You got to be a little bit worried, though, for MVP Blue, because you're going to be like, all right, you know, eventually Lilac is going to stop getting caught out. Eventually they're going to stop doing this. And they're still fairly even on farm. They're still fairly even on the amount of damage they can put out. So MVP Blue, Baron is gone now. I mean, they can't quite rest on their laurels just yet.
The main issue with that last push was that it caused a pretty significant gold swing. While we only had about 4K difference before, now we're up at about 6, 7. So that's a pretty large difference. Although we are over 50K gold, so it's not as big as it clearly would be earlier in the game.
I mean, if you look at the items for these two teams, I mean, they're both pretty scary.
LGIM2 just overcommitted after they got a good engage.
Oh, they're going to try to get this pick onto Chunyang. Chunyang getting into the base here. They do dodge. Wow, a lot of flashes. Viewing comes in, delays a bit. There's the final spark. They do get Flom, but Chunju coming in with that slicing Maelstrom. Deft on the outside of the fight gets taunted by PLL. Scarlet trying to do damage from the outside. Lilac still alive. Tries to slow down Easyhoon. Easyhoon can't quite finish off PLL. A pretty dirty fight for MVP Blue. Not quite going as well as they were hoping. They might get the inhibitor, though.
And Easyhoon manages to escape with a sliver of HP, but they will save the inhibitor.
Man, and that's what I was talking about, man. I mean, that's the danger that still is present for MVP Blue. Ooh.
Not quite making it. EasyHoon intelligently getting out of range right there. Smart play by the mid laner of MVP Blue. Not taking any risks.
Yeah, you never know when that ultimate's just going to come and kill you. And he's actually not recalling yet.
What is this?
He's very low. This is very dangerous for EasyHoon. EasyHoon, are you crazy?
Will escape. He will escape, though.
All right.
That Nunu not going to be able to take him down.
Yeah.
Lilac has just been so lackluster.
I mean, if they gave an anti-MVP award in Champions, I think he'd be up for it this game, unfortunately.
It's too bad. He had a pretty decent game on Lee Sin last time, but
yeah, he did.
Caught out of position, using his ult at inopportune times, not peeling particularly well.
Yeah. Oh, Flom. The dangers of warding. Yep, the dangers of warding. Every support knows what I'm talking about. Double vision ward. Still not good enough to see the ward on the high ground, though. Whoops.
Okay, will this be a move on to Baron soon? They're going to start clearing out the ward so they can set up when it respawns.
They want to get this pick here. Viewing a little bit separated from his team, and they might want to chase that. They are indeed. Yeah, the tidal wave gets used, and that's it. Yep. Viewing, you know, I gotta say, it's really been a lot of positioning issues for LGIM this game. Viewing and Lilac.
For how well they positioned last game, it's pretty surprising that Lilac and Viewing keep getting repeatedly caught out here.
It's really bizarre. Like we're making a big deal about it, but it's because it is a big deal. It's so rare. You just don't see this.
It's huge. And they missed the final spark, so now they can't defend the inhibitor. Inhibitor is gone.
Oh, inhibitor. We hardly knew the...
Well, we've known it for 40 minutes, which is longer than we normally know inhibitors.
Yep, that's true. We knew thee for a long time. We were old friends.
And now you're dead.
Now you're dead. But you'll be back in a few minutes. It's okay. I'll get over it.
Well, the bot lane push going to put a lot of pressure on the Baron in favor of MVP Blue right now. They took out the right inhibitor to maximize their window of time to get this Baron, and LGIM going to set up the pick. And
oh, Chunju. Oh, no use of final spark there. They're trying to back away from Chunyang.
They can't fight right now because Kog'Maw's not there.
There he is. Scarlet rolling up on those stubby little legs.
One or two fewer positional errors from LGIM this game, with Lilac and Viewing getting caught out, could have actually turned the tide of what we're seeing right now. But as it is, MVP Blue doing a good job of staying in control of the game. They took out the right inhibitor. They're able to control this Baron pit. They need to get that vision control again because LGIM is doing everything in their power to make sure they can see what's going on. They've got a lot of steal potential with Final Spark, Smite, and Consume. Pretty scary to be Baroning against the comp that LGIM is running.
You know, and that's why, as crazy as all this is, LGIM still has that chance. It's time for PLL to fight some minions.
Split pushing against super minions.
That's right. It's pretty tough to do.
But someone's got to do it, and that's someone.
Real men fight against super minions in the split push. Baron does not like being shot.
He doesn't like getting poked by Lux.
Not many people do that, I've heard. Oh, it's a tough day for Baron. MVP Blue going for it now, but yeah, like you said, there's a lot of Baron steal potential here. Flom looking to maybe get that Descendants over the wall. Baron getting lower and lower. Can LGIM steal this? They're coming in. There's a Consume. They get the Baron steal. Is it going to be enough though? Absolute zero, the Baron pit. PLL coming in with the Stand United and the taunt, but can they get this counter engage working? Kuro low, zoned out quite a bit, and EasyHoon chasing down Scarlet. PLL can't help him now. Goodbye, Chunju. Kuro claims another victim, but Scarlet on the run. EasyHoon and Death very threatening. Oh, but Scarlet, he does it! I can't believe it! LGIM with that Baron buff. They win the fight 1-for-4.
And that right there is the danger of Baroning against Lux and Nunu. A really terrible error for MVP Blue, and then Scarlet with the positioning at the end, just kiting his way out, getting that little bit of heal from the Baron buff, and turning it around in the brush.
And this is it.
The poke is huge from LGIM. If you get caught in that multi-pronged engage, you just get poked from all sides.
This is what we were talking about all game long. As many mistakes as LGIM was making, they'd still have that chance. They do have super minions in their base, though. They're going to get this inhibitor, but they need to get home fast. And I need to stop hitting the desk or it's going to fall apart.
And how far will they push this? They're pushing it into a Nexus.
They're
Judge
going
to be up
really far with this. Flom getting caught a bit of nice Aqua Prison. They do get one of the Nexus turrets even.
Well, that's pretty important when it comes to super minion pushing. And all of a sudden, we have a game again, Noah.
We really do, man. Is this going to be like the big comeback of Champions Summer? It could be. I've suddenly got the hiccups at the worst time.
Lilac did a good job of actually clearing out the minion pit right there, using Absolute Zero.
Boom.
Save his turret.
That's right.
And that inhibitor should be up pretty soon.
Lilac's like, well, things haven't been going well, but winter is coming.
Winter is coming for you, MVP Blue. It would be incredible if MVP Blue lost this series 0-2.
Would you say it would be maybe even an incredible miracle?
I would. I would say it would be an incredible miracle for 2 to win over Blue.
Look at this. LGIM actually has a gold lead now.
There we go.
It doesn't really matter, but they've got a gold lead.
GA onto Scarlet. Smart pickup right there.
You know, Shen's got that Thorn Mail, and I've heard he's kind of annoying to shoot with that. All right, MVP Blue going to take Dragon, but again, with the gold totals, it really does not make a big difference. 40% CDR right now in Kuro. Those final sparks are going to be not so final. It's going to be more like very regular spark.
And, well, each spark might be a final spark, considering it's doing over 1,000 magic damage right now.
Yeah.
Not even counting popping or passive.
Well, that Baron never stood a chance against this.
This was a very bad decision.
Gets a consume. Chunyong nearly insta-gift as well by that final spark.
And Lilac makes up for everything with a good Absolute Zero right there and the Baron steal. So he was about due for a good play in this game, and that was it. Beautifully done.
Yeah. And this is just crazy, man. This is one of the reasons why I love League, because you can see these comebacks, you know? It can happen. And I mean, Lilac Lilac and Viewing have not had a good game. But when it comes down to it, as long as the items are there, the farm is there,
I still feel that LGIM
got that chance.
Has a compositional advantage, and they have had it the whole game. They've just been caught out of position. When you run a comp like LGIM's, positioning is everything.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to make many mistakes. MVP Blue, nah, they love the chaos. That cannon ult radius is huge. Rise just loves just getting in there and tanking and dealing a bunch of damage.
Yep.
He can get in your face. Twitch has a huge AoE ultimate. The positioning not as critical, but when you're trying to line up Final Spark, when you're trying to disengage, you have to be very careful because MVP Blue could burst you down so quickly.
Yeah. Final Spark could literally take off more than half of Depth's health right now.
The inhibitor is back up.
It is indeed. And there we go. They do catch PLL just a little bit, but he gets away. The turret getting low. Scarlet needs to be careful. He doesn't need to get caught. He flashes away. Kennen coming in with the ultimate, but a good zone from Lilac. Tidal Wave coming over the top, though. A huge final spark, but is it enough damage? Yeah, Scarlet, he could not get caught like that. That was like one of the things that LGIM could not have happen, and it happened.
EasyHoon didn't even have to flash for that Rune Prison.
No.
That was just terrible positioning.
He just walked right up to him.
Just walked right up to a Kog'Maw, and I don't even know why, like, PLL wasn't split pushing right there. He had pushed down the bottom turret, and instead he came up and decided to face tank. They were trying just to end the game, and now they're going to lose like 2 inhibitors for it.
Well, I think they may have succeeded in ending the game, but maybe not in the way they wanted here. Actually, that Nexus turret went down. There's a bare open Nexus right now.
Can they stop them from recalling is the question, but they're going to come back up.
Kuro has to be a one-woman army, I guess. EasyHoon, there's the Zhonya's. Kuro trying to take out Deft, he can't do it. A double kill for Deft, and the turret gets him! Oh, that's huge! The Nexus taking some hits. Chunyong trying to defend as best he can, but he doesn't have AoE.
He's good. They're going to have a minion wave soon with super creeps, though.
They are indeed. Okay, the Nexus at a little over half health. It's coming back, and it looks like MVP Blue might be barely able to defend this.
Flom's getting low, and look at this!
EasyHoon gets caught!
Comes in!
Lilac with the absolute zero!
They're trying. PLL coming in from behind. They need to clean up this kill.
EasyHoon, the unkillable. What in the world? They get him, though. That is a 70-second death timer for EasyHoon.
And look at that.
Thresh, collect your spirits, man.
Okay, now can they push this in? They have Kog'Maw. They may be able just to rush the Nexus right here.
This is insane. This is so insane. The Nexus at 2/3 health.
Lilac not very healthy, though. He's got a Blood Boil Kog'Maw. He's got to stay back. He doesn't have absolute zero to zone.
Kog'Maw can't get killed, man.
But they're forcing a very awkward situation.
Right. Oh, Lilac. Chunju, he's so low. Here comes Elise over the top, trying to jump onto Scarlet. Can they do anything with it? Oh, Chunyang, Scarlet needs to stay alive, buddy! He's alive! He's alive right now!
He's sustaining through everything. He
not
forces
now.
the ult.
Yep.
But it's again, they need these carries in order to save everything. They've got an inhibitor up, though, so their top inhibitor came back.
Okay, all right. They still have that bottom inhibitor down, though, and the super minions are pounding away at the top inhibitor that just came back. This game is crazy. Chunju and Chunyang down for another full minute almost. EasyHoon finally coming back up soon, though.
And they will be able to use Kuro to snipe over walls here and just be a general nuisance.
Yeah.
So they're continuing to push. They want to pull MVP Blue off those lanes.
The push and the pull. The ebb and the flow. LGIM, after the game they had, can they keep things together enough to finish it off? They've got that open nexus for MVP Blue. They could do it. They can't get caught. The warding needs to be perfect from now on. EasyHoon. Oh,
he saw Shen.
Man. Oh, that was a close call for EasyHoon. And keep in mind, guys, right now the death timers are going to be over 70 seconds. A final spark only hits Flom. The cooldown,
about
CBR very good, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
pretty low right now.
Might as well use that to force them to go back and continue to have vision control over
I would say so.
Baron. EasyHoon still playing with fire a little bit, but he won't be able to get killed very quickly at all, considering his current Frozen Heart, Spirit Massage, Archangel Staff tankiness.
Yeah, seriously.
We've got the 6-item builds across the board at the moment.
Yep.
18,000 gold for Kuro's Lux.
Yet another needlessly large rod for Lux.
He has 700 AP right now.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's going to build with that rod.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I mean, it could be, actually, did he just sell it?
He did sell it.
He did sell it, okay. All right, well, there's that.
He bought Chain Vest instead.
Yeah, I think, what do you think? Do you think that's smart?
He's going for GA.
Yeah.
So yes, I do. Actually,
Okay.
he doesn't,
Oh, that's right.
he can't 100 to 0 anybody anymore, so it's more important that he does DPS over time right now.
Right.
He can't even 100 to 0 Flom.
What a tense game. We are at 50 minutes right now, guys. 140,000 gold, nearly about 160,000 gold actually in the game. PLL, you gotta be careful.
Can't afford to be caught out at the moment.
No. The next person that gets caught for either of these teams could cost their team the game.
Kuro going to grab another blue buff in the interrupt.
Yeah.
And in terms of builds right now, nothing too strange going on. And Mikhail's Crucible on Flom because of the amount of CC coming out of LGIM. Pretty smart build, actually. Able to get EasyHoon or Deft out of any CC stickiness. Oop, check right there, little poke.
Yep, that's right. But that's a 30-second window that MVP Blue may decide to walk around River with.
The baiting is strong, but eventually they're going to have to go back and deal with their naked nexus. So time is on the side of LGIM right now.
Yeah.
The super minions pushing in. There are no turrets, and now Kennen goes in.
Oh, PLL.
They can engage this.
PLL. Oh, that's so close. It's so close. Actually, Lilac. Oh, they're trying to engage it. They're trying to go in. Lilac, a root prison on the Flom. The tidal wave comes over the top. Have they locked up EasyHoon? He has to flash away. Chunyang getting caught with that taunt. There's a good aqua prison. They got it. Here comes Chunju back with the ultimate. Kuro goes down. A double kill for Kennen. Very dangerous PLL in the back lines. Triple kill for Chunju. Lilac trying to go back, and LGIM loses that team fight. Deft somehow survives.
However, the inhibitor is going down.
No way.
And look at this. Lilac trying to find a safe place to recall, finally does. So not much actually coming out of that.
Yeah.
Unless they can get this inhibitor, which they should
I think
be
they
able
can.
to.
I think they can, yeah. Chunju got a triple kill that game. His damage is just out of control right now. It wasn't even that bad of an engage for LGIM.
They did get a little bit strung out.
Yeah. Lilac, he's coming in, he has to defend. Gets stuck immediately with that rune prison. He has to be careful here, they really need him up. There goes one Nexus turret, the next one getting lower as well. Lilac backing up a bit. Ooh, he goes down, and the second Nexus turret with it. That's it, that's the game. They can get the Nexus. Still 10 seconds before anybody is up. The Nexus dies so quickly, and at 53 minutes, MVP Blue is going to claim victory.